speaker of the day. So Danni Wells is 30 years old. She's married to Ian and they have 2 daughters, Farah who's 6 and Ivana who's 4. Danni built her business to district level within 4 months of starting her business, area manager to 6 months, and region in 11 months, and is building every single day closer to nation. She's a 2-time Area and Paradise Arizona Trip Incentive Achiever, which is a Donna Johnston annual incentive, a 2-time GTC Incentive Trip Earner, number 5 Parade of Champions 2016. Number 1 District Manager Elevation Award in 2016. AIT Trip Achiever. So you're going to learn so much from what Danni has to tell you today. So please welcome to the stage, Regional Vice President.
Wow. Gosh, that's amazing to hear that. Everybody, get as many things that you can on your bio because it sounds great to hear it, it really does. Nicola, that training was incredible and I feel like mine is really going to complement yours beautifully. So, my name is Danni Wells and I am an independent consultant with Arbonne International and a regional vice president. Yes, growing every day a step closer to achieving my goal of becoming an ENVP and beyond. So, like Emma said, I have 2 daughters who are 6 and 4, Farah and Ivana, and they are my total why for building this business. I want to inspire them to give back and be the best versions of them that they can be. I have a wonderful husband, Ian, who, thanks to my Arbonne business, was able to leave his job and pursue his own dream and not have any financial worries. So I'm very grateful for Arbonne for that. I have a growing team of brilliant new friends and we are all on a mission to raise awareness of the Arbonne opportunity to as many people as physically possible. So that's a little bit about me. When I messaged Vicky Beckett asking for a slot to speak today, I emphasised that although this isn't in my comfort zone, but I said that because I was the number 5 Parade of Champions in Las Vegas this year, and then was number 1 at the District Manager Elevation, both awards which I achieved by helping people that I personally sponsor become district managers. I said I feel like I've got so much to give everybody at the DM day. I feel like I can really give you something so that you can help your personally sponsored consultants become district managers and be in these awards for themselves as well. And I wanted to share my tools for success with all of you today. So, what is this big mystery? Why am I promoting so many people to district managers? Anyone who knows me knows I'm not afraid to keep anything to myself. I'm totally transparent and I share everything. Not always a good thing about me, but I'm going to share everything with you today. But before I do share this big mystery about why I'm helping so many people become district managers, I do want to echo that there are skills that everybody does need to give your new consultants. And those skills are, we all know, how to meet new people, how to invite people, how to do one-to-ones and group events, how to follow up and know about the products to provide solutions for people's problems. So I'm not going to touch on them, but they are just as important. So, if we practice all of those skills that I've just said, and we gave those skills to our new consultants, and they learnt them, why are we not promoting more people to district managers? There is a missing piece to the puzzle, and it's a really important one at that. And that puzzle piece is exactly what has helped me help so many people promote, and that's what I want to delve into today with you all. So, when we sponsor a keen, eager, wanting to change their current circumstances consultant, they come into this business with a self-image of themselves. And that self-image is the reason that they are where they are at that moment in time. Now we know from our uplines to suggest personal development. Go and read some books, go and listen to some audios. So we know that. So I just want to see a show of hands. Who here today has sponsored a new independent consultant and suggested that they do personal growth? I definitely have, yeah. Okay, so another show of hands, who here today has had resistance from somebody not doing personal growth? Yeah, exactly the same. So, for every 10 people that I personally sponsor, I find that one of those out of the 10 is running to the top of this business. They're going to nation and beyond, with or without me, they're doing it. So if I was to drop dead tomorrow, they would carry on building this business to nations. That's 1 in 10, roughly. And those are the people that are here today, and that is a big reflection for you as well. You are one of those in every 10 people. You're here today, you've showed up, you've got that commitment going on in your business. Out of the 10 people I sponsor, 2 to 3 are willing to be coached, willing to have advice, willing to be guided by me, and that's great. And then the rest of them, they become consumers or event attenders who don't grow their business, or they disappear. So it's definitely a numbers game. And even now, half the people I sponsor don't do anything with their business. And I'm at the level that I am. It happens, it is a numbers game. But for the people that are willing to be coached by you, this is what's going to help you help those people. So every consultant that you sponsor comes into the business with a self-image of themselves. That's you and I included as well. So you have a self-image of yourself, I have a self-image of myself. And that self-image photograph of us in our head tells us who we are as a person. So what we like, what we don't like, the things that we attract into the business, the things that we don't attract into the business or into our lives. Our self-image photograph of ourselves is the complete reason why our lives are the way our lives are. So I want you to think of a computer that's been programmed to command the way it is. This is like our body responding to what our self-image photograph says that we are in our head. So if you think of your life as a movie, the script to your movie is the self-image photograph in your head. So emphasising what Nicola touched on. It's the instructions to how we show up in the world. So in 2014, this was me, the blonde one. And oddly enough, the brunette is the first person I ever sponsored into Arbonne. She doesn't do Arbonne anymore. That's okay. So she's got a massive leg in her business though, which is great. So in 2014, just as I was starting my own business with Arbonne International, my self-image photograph of me said that I was a loving mum and wife, I was shy, I hated public speaking, I had no confidence, I wasn't pretty, I was an embarrassment to the people around me, I was in debt every single month, I have depression and anxiety, I'm tired all of the time, I couldn't do anything to provide for my family, and I was ashamed to even be me, so I needed to hide as much as possible so that people didn't have to suffer me being around them. So my self-image of me was not living the dream, and that reflected in my world. So what my script of me was telling the instructions of what I was then doing, that reflected in what my life looked like at that time. So my body and actions got to work like a robot to make sure that my life was exactly how my self-image photograph of me said that I was. So I started my Arbonne business because I'd had enough. I had absolutely had enough, and the pain of changing was worth more to me than the pain of staying the same. So when your new consultants start their business, you need to find out what their self-image photograph says that they are. You can't ask them because they will not know what you're talking about. So what you have to do is ask them questions and find out, get to know them, chat to them, talk to them, be a friend. Asking questions is a great way to find out about somebody. The longer you spend with somebody asking them questions, the more you're going to find out about who they are. And what you'll do is you'll piece together what their self-image photograph says about them, and that will tell you why their life is the way it is and why they asked you for help. So their self-image photograph will also be their personality and character traits. So this is what your self-image is. Your self-image is your characteristics, your personality traits. So are you patient, kind, friendly, open-minded, fun, shy, in debt, in abundance of money, unhealthy, tired, full of energy, driven? Whatever your character traits are, they come from your self-image photograph of you in your head. And that commands your body like a robot to act accordingly to what the photo says that you are. So it would seem really easy to say, okay, that makes sense. I am who I am because of my self-image photograph of me, and my new consultants are who they are because of their self-image photograph of them. Let's change it. Makes sense? The problem is, it isn't as easy as just saying let's change it, because if you sponsor a new consultant and they tell you they don't have confidence, and you tell them that they do have confidence, and even if they then say I have confidence, it's going to be temporary, it's not going to be a permanent thing. So I want you to think of I want you to think about a room thermostat. So this room right now, let's say that the thermostat in this room is set to 25 degrees. I actually don't know what the temperature is. I'm not very good with like numbers and stuff like that. So let's just pretend it's 25 degrees. And that is what the thermostat is set to in this room. So make sure that that is the level of heat that's happening. If somebody was to open the side doors to the football pitch over there and a load of cold air was to rush in, the temperature is going to drop. It's going to be cold in here. So let's say it drops to 15 degrees. The thermostat that has been set to 25 degrees is going to kick in. It's going to register. The room's dipped. It's going to pump out more heat and it's going to gradually bring it back. So it's going to go back to where the set temperature was set to. So it's pumping out that heat and it's bringing it back to 25 degrees. Now let's say then somebody then closes the door. That heat's then chucking out to the room. It's going to raise the temperature higher. So let's say it goes to 35 degrees. What's going to happen is the set self-image photograph, the temperature, the room thermostat, the thermostat is going to recognise that, it's going to hold back on the heat and it's going to go back to 25 degrees. So no matter what we do, no matter how many people mess around with the doors, it's always going to go back to 25 degrees, whichever way it goes temporarily. So I'm going to link this back to myself. So we all have a self-image photograph and it's filled with our instructions of ourselves. And one area that I wanted to mention was money. So I had, like we all do, a money blueprint. So my script, my self-image photograph told me that where I was with money was always at the maximum of my overdraft, which was minus £1,000. And if I was allowed a bigger overdraft, it would have been more, but that's where I was only allowed to have one too. So it was always minus £1,000. And no matter what I did, no matter if when I started earning great money with Arbonne, that money would come into my bank account. I'd be like, oh, wow, I've never seen this much money in my life. What would happen is, it wouldn't be comfortable. It wouldn't be what my self-image photograph said that I was, because what I was minus £1,000. So I'd see all of this money and I'd go out and just spend it and get rid of it because it wasn't where my set self-image was. Really bad. It's not like that now. I've learned to change. And then if I then went over, so if I went to minus £5,000 because I bought a car, what I would do was hold back on takeaways and clothes till I got back to minus £1,000. And you can see this in lottery winners, people that inherit money or win the lottery, they always get rid of it and they go back to where their set self-image photograph is. So this is just one example of what's happening with that photograph in your head. No matter what temporarily happens, you will always go back to the self-image photograph of you. And this is the same for your new consultants as well. So if someone showed an architect this blueprint of a house, they would build this house to the exact vision that was set. They'd build it, it'd be identical. If someone took from our brain, or your consultant's brain, their self-image photograph of them, they would be able to clone them to a T. Or if this is for you, if somebody took that photograph from your brain, they could clone you. That would include your money blueprint, your relationship with food, your fears, worries, doubts, personality, warts and all. And that would be, again, the script to the movie. So there are 3 things that you need to do when focusing on this area. Number 1, you need to understand your new consultant's self-image photograph of them. You need to find out what their photograph says about them. And if you're doing this for yourself, then write down what your photograph says about you. You'll know what it says about you because it's how you show up in the world. So if you're looking at your money blueprint, it's what your bank balance says majority of the time. Number 2, you need to work out what your new consultant wants from life. What do they want their new self-image photograph to say? Or if this is for you, what do you want your new self-image photograph to say about you? And then number 3, you need to move from the old instructions of you to the new instructions of you, or the old self-image photograph of you to the new self-image photograph of you. And this applies for your consultants as well. So how do we move from the old self-image photograph to the new self-image photograph? From the old blueprint to the new blueprint. Anyone want to guess? Exactly. So you're all switched on, you don't need this. Personal growth, exactly. So helping your new consultants do this is going to take time, and you need to commit to being their coach, their cheerleader, to help them along. When someone hires a coach to help them run a marathon, they encourage them, they give them feedback that puts them in the right direction, baby steps and mini tasks, and build their belief that they can move to the new self-image, and giving them tracks to run on. So I've just put together 10 key points of what I do personally to help my new consultants, and these are the 10 key points that helped me move from my old self-image to my new self-image. So number 1, help find out what they want. So when you sponsor a new consultant, find out what they want. That is the most important thing, because anybody that's sponsored more than one person will know people want different things, and that's okay. What I find works best for me is doing a vision board with my new consultant and chatting through it, really listening to what they want in life. If they want to be a public speaker and they feel that they haven't got any confidence, this is a key area that you can make a mental note of to work with them on in the future. You can help them learn how to believe that they are in abundance of confidence, and you can help them grow towards their goal. You can give them little baby steps, like give them one product to learn about and spend 5 minutes training on. Really simple little baby steps that's just going to help them along. 2, regularly be there for your new consultants. So phone them. If you can, meet up with them. Get to know them as friends and encourage them, cheer them on and applaud their baby steps. Even somebody doing their first one-to-one alone is a big deal. It might not seem like it for some of us that have done loads of one-to-ones, but for new consultants, it's a big thing. So if you can, celebrate that on the team page. Say how amazing, how proud you are of them. It will not be easy for your new consultant to move from their old self-image to their new self-image. And without a coach and a guide, most people give up. It's a lot of hard work. But with a mentor, they're regularly cheering them on and encouraging them. It makes it easier to get back up after every fall. Number 3, send them an eye on Arbonne a day to them in their early days to build their belief that anyone from any circumstance with the right passion and determination can succeed in this business. 4, encourage them to write affirmations, or what I find for my new consultants, affirmations is sometimes a little bit much for them. So I just encourage them to write their goal down and read that, and then they gradually build up from there, which is absolutely fine. One thing I would say though is start off small. It is better to do a little every day than have a ton to do and do it sporadically. You can even voice note then their goal or their affirmation, you know, just get that going. Number 5, tell them stories about light bulb moments that you've had from books to encourage them to read. Most people in their early days of starting an Arbonne business do not understand the benefit of reading a personal growth book. But what they will do is listen to someone share how they got to where they are, if it's where they want to be. So what you want to do is find somebody that they are inspired by, either you or your upline or someone else in Arbonne, and find out what their top tips were. And I guarantee reading will be on there. That's a great way to encourage them to read rather than saying you need to read a book. Number 6, share with them that successful people watched and listened to The Secret 100 times on their journey to success. Anyone here ever watched or read The Secret? Yeah, I'm yet to meet a VP that hasn't. So if you haven't, you need to get onto that and help your new consultants get onto this as well. Myself and Natalie Crawford were listening to it last night, weren't we, falling asleep? Right, 7, help them remove the words like can't, try, struggle from their vocabulary, and help them realise there is no one better than them to be them and be their own best brand, to help provide solutions for people's problems, to not feel the need to convince anyone they need or want something they do not. Your business builder, like us, is only of service to people who want something that we can help with. And that is not every single person on this planet, but it is a lot. It's fine. So they need to keep meeting new people. They need to keep improving on their skills, keep working on their own self-image of themselves to be the best Arbonne independent consultant there is. A consultant who learns daily, improves on their skills, and always gets back up after every knockdown. Number 8, help them understand that to have a business turn over a month what they plan to, they will have to book in double of the activity to allow for life to happen, because it does. And they need to expect that half of the appointments will cancel. And one thing that a lot of us in our team do is we encourage new consultants to book so much activity, double what they need. When people cancel, you're actually relieved. So you've actually got that positive energy rather than, oh my gosh, they've cancelled. So you really want to feel positive about it, like it's actually a relief you've got a night off because you've booked more than what you actually need. Okay, number 9, have fun with your business builder. The people that you mentor, coach and support. So make sure there are opportunities for people to have lots of fun, to recharge and bounce innovative, creative ideas around. Allow them the space to be important and tell them that they are important. Tell them when they do things that are great just for making progress that day. And number 10, encourage them to see that having income producing activity is only a stepping stone to nation. The real magic is sharing all of this with everybody else to keep growing the team and helping other people all of the way to nation. Don't let somebody stop at a promotion. Don't let them get to district and fall into district maintenance mindset. Tell them district is only a baby step to area, region, nation, and then nations of nations. You want them to keep going. So, my 4 favourite books about this topic, what I've been studying for the past 2.5 years, are The Power of Neuroplasticity by Shad Helmsletter, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and all of her books to be honest, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. They have really, really improved my self-image of myself. So I thought I would also share with you all my best profile pictures from 2014. So this is before I started Arba. I went onto my Facebook to find the pictures that I chose as my best picture to have to the world. So this is what my old self-image said about me in 2014. Before I started my Arba business, I was always putting myself down. It was ridiculous. So I have really had to work on this. And these are my new profile pictures of my new self-image. I know, it's worth it. So I just wanted to share this quick video. Like exercise or learning a new language, it is going to take time. It won't happen overnight, so keep going with them, with your new consultants, to help them, and know that there will be down days. Tell your new consultants to expect, like any business, our one is no different. Some days will be tough and some days will be amazing, but you are there to share in the highs and the lows with them. Give them the space to share with you their lower moments, and then encourage them to tell you how they think they can move past each hurdle as it comes up. You absolutely can do this. You guys are the cream of the crop here today. You are the district managers. You are the future NVPs. All you need to do is work on your self-image. Thank you.